Hello guys, my name is Femi, and in this video we are looking at JavaScript for React developers, and I'm going to be covering basic JavaScript. Okay, so this is going to be a series that we are going to be looking at, and this is what we are going to be looking at today: variables, lets and consts, arrays and objects, functions and arrow functions. Okay, so before we move on, I want you guys to like, subscribe, please. Like and subscribe to this channel, share the video. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to look at, the first thing is to create a folder. Let me create a folder here. Let me call it tools. Okay, so I have my VS Code open here. So use VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So I'm coming here to, let's open that file, that folder. Okay, so it's on my desktop. My desktop is not here. Okay. Okay, so it's here. You open and okay, so here we go. We have so I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to create two files. I have index.html. Okay, I'm also going to create a main.js. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this is a shift exclamation. Once you press enter, you have this boilerplate. So I'm going to include my JavaScript, my scripts here. So just come to the bottom, you can put your source. So we have JavaScript. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is because JavaScript is a language of the browser, and we actually need it to be rendered in the browser. So with this, I can easily render my JavaScripts. Okay, so let's take, for instance, let me write console.log, say my name is Femi. My name is Femi Emmanuel. Okay, so all I need to do is to come here and then let me increase my screen. Hope you guys can see now. Okay, so all I need to do is to come here and then open with live server. So you can come here. These are actually an extension I'm using. It's live server. You can get it. Okay, so this is live server. This is extension, and it serves your file automatically to the browser, and it works very fine. Okay, and you don't need to refresh every time. Okay, so I've just opened with live server, and okay, so this is what I have. I am not expecting to see anything. Okay, so probably I'm not expecting to see anything, so I can just come over and inspect. So because we are running JavaScript, so we have console. You can actually say I have let me refresh again. So you have my name. You can see my name is Femi here. Okay, so I'm just going to minimize this so that it can work alongside with our work here. I'm going to make it like this, and then bring my work here also. I can do Command P. I'm on Mac. I minimize this a little. Okay, so that as you are working, we can see what is happening. Okay, so let me go to our JS file. Okay, so the first thing we are going to look at is variables. And looking at variables, what are variables? Okay, so basically variables are what we use to store something. You store a value. You understand? They are like something that helps you. You can store something inside and use in your code. Okay, so the new ES version of JavaScript uses const and let. Okay, so I'm going to start with let. For instance, so in JavaScript you say let's say let my name is Femi. Okay, so let me make it capital letter. Name is Femi. Can I have something like this? Okay, so I can say console.log my name. Okay, so spelling that for me, sorry. Okay, so this is what I have. Okay, we can see that I have my name, Femi. Okay, so this is a variable. Okay, so this is a variable name. Okay, so in JavaScript, we can actually, it's possible for us to just declare a variable without assigning a value to it. I can say let my name alone. Now I've declared this variable without assigning a value to it. Okay, so I can actually now come and say my name is Femi, like this. Okay, and then we console log to see in the browser my name like this. Okay, so we have the same results, Femi. Okay, so this is actually, declaring a variable and assigning a value to it, which is what I have done here. This is a variable name and I'm assigning a value to it. Okay, so I'm just going to comment this out. So we can have age, let's say let age equals to 30, and I can say console.log age, have something like this. Don't forget to semicolon. Okay, so what do we have? We have 30 on this other side. Okay, let me make this bigger. Okay, yeah. So we have 30 on this side. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to use the second one now, which is actually const. Okay, so there are two ways of declaring variables in JavaScript. So we can either use let or const. Okay, so we can say const my name equals to, let me make some space here. My name is Femi. Okay, so I can say console.log is my name. Okay, so I'm getting Femi. I'm having Femi by this side on the browser. Okay, so but what's the difference between const and let? And I'm going to show us the difference between const and let. So let me come here and say, my name equals to Emmanuel, like this. Okay, we are getting error. Why? Because const, once we declare a variable using const and we assign it to a value, that name, that variable cannot be reassigned to another value again. Okay, and that's why we are getting error. Okay, so because the variable my name here has the value of Femi, so it is constant. Okay, wherever we are using this variable throughout our project, throughout this file, it is constant. It cannot be changed. Okay, so you use const for something that is not going to change. Okay, so that's why we have error. Okay, but when you use let me go back up here. Let me go back to the top. I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, so I'm going to use okay, so we have Femi here. Okay, so I can actually come here and reassign another value, call it my name. Okay, so we can see that this is changing. Okay, let me clean up this. Okay, so what we're having is we have the first value that the variable is assigned to is Femi. So you can see we have Femi here. So and then now once you are reassigning a value to a variable, you don't have to declare it again using let. So you can just call the name of the variable and assign it to another value. So what I've done here is to assign it to another value, which is Emmanuel, and this is what I have. Okay, so for instance now for the age, I can just call the age and give it 60. Okay, so now I'm having 60. Why am I having 60? I'm having 60 because the first declaration I did here was 30, and I'm reassigning that age variable, assign another value which is 60. Okay, so this is the difference between let and const. Okay, when you are using let, you can actually reassign values, okay, to your variables. Okay, unlike when you are using const, whatever values you have assigned to your variable is constant. Okay, so this is variable, and this other one we are going to look at is let's go to our browser here. Going to look at, let's make this big. Okay, so we're going to look at objects, arrays, and objects. Okay, so let's go back to this place. So now for arrays, so we can have let, I'm going to use let fruits equals to square brackets. This is an array. Okay, so in arrays we can have multiple values, okay, or data types. Okay, so for instance, we can have arrays of fruit. We can have apple, we can have banana, we can have orange. Okay, so we can just do console.log fruits, and this is what we get. Okay, so let me just comment this out. Just comment this out. Okay, so this is what we have. Hope we can see, guys. Okay, so this is what we have, and we make this a bit bigger. So we have orange, banana, and apple, banana, orange. Okay, so that is for arrays. Okay, so and it's possible for us to, and we can even add more values to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let me just make another array. Let's call it names. So we have this, we have Femi, we have Tosin, we have Karim, we have Tola, we have Mochi. Okay, so all we just need to say console.log. It's going to bring everything out like this, and we have names. Okay, so what do we have now? We can see it here. We have the names of people here. Okay, so and it's possible for us to have numbers too. You can see numbers equals to this 1. Oh, sorry, number is not a string, so we have 1. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so all we need to do is to do console.log. Okay, we have numbers. Okay, so you can see this is an array of numbers. Okay, so this is cool. Okay, so quickly I'm going to look at these are just basic things. These are basic JavaScript. So we're going to look at objects. Okay, let me comment this out. So we're going to look at objects quickly. Okay, so look at objects. So we can have const person equals to curly braces here. So we can have, when we talk about object, we talk about key value pairs. It is very, very important that we take note. So const person, so you can have name. This is the key. So you have names. You can have name to be, I use Femi again. So you can have age. So you can have 30. Okay, so you can have email. Okay, which can be Femi Emmanuel at gmail.com. .com. Okay, so you can have location. You can have Lagos. Okay, so this is object. Now we can see that the object is different from array. How? Because we have const person. Okay, it doesn't matter, you can use select also, but we have equals to, this is square bracket, this is curly braces, and then in object we have key value pairs. Okay, so we have a name, This is the key, this is a value. We have the age, we have the value, we have the email, unlike array. Okay, so let's go. We can do console.log person. Okay, so let's see what we have. Can we see now? So see what we have gotten now. We have the name. I'm going to make this. So we have name. We have the name, Femi, age, everything we have. Okay, and we can actually get the keys. We can use the keys to access the value. So you can say person.name. So let me just comment this out. Person.name. Okay, so you can see we have Femi. Okay, can do the same thing for age. Okay, so do this the same thing for age. Okay, so what do we have 30. Can do the same thing for email. So we have, what do we have? This is what we have. Okay, so this is objects in a nutshell, and quickly we are going to look at function. Let's go to what we have here. We're going to look at functions, and I'm going to comment this out now. We're going to look at functions. Okay, so now in JavaScript, function defines a block of code. Okay, and we can execute this code anytime we want by calling or invoking this function. Okay, so in JavaScript we write functions like this. Okay, so we can start by function declaration. We can say function, let's call it my name. Okay, so we have parentheses and we have our curly braces, and this is where we have our function block, so our code block. So we have console.log. So you can just say hello, my name is Femi. Okay, so let's check our browser. We are not going to see anything now because this is a function. This is like a function declaration. Okay, we have not done anything yet, so it's important that we call this function, we invoke this function. Okay, so what we are going to do is to call this function, and this is how we call the function. It's a function name, call it this way. Okay, so when we do this, we have hello, my name is Femi. Okay, so as we can see, this is what we have here right now. Okay, so and we can call it as many times as we want. Okay, let me come down. Okay, so what do we see? We have it duplicating. Okay, so this is a power of function. So this is a basic function. Okay, and we're going to be writing more, giving us more examples. So we can have function greet. Okay, so parentheses. Okay, so let's have okay. It's possible for this parentheses we can we can pass in values. Okay, so these are values that we can use, okay, in a block of code. So it's, let's say, name. Okay, so we can have here, come here and see we have a return. Let's have a backtick here. Let's say my name is, so let's have this. Okay, so we're going to have this. Okay, so what I've done is to use a variable to use backtick to bring it here. Okay, so I'm going to call this function now, and let's see what we have. So we can say console.log. Okay, so since I'm returning the function now, I'm returning this function so that whatever is giving us, we can do something with it. Okay, so I can store it in a variable. Like we said, we can use let's use const results. Okay, equals to const result equals to, going to invoke the function. Now since we've passed in a parameter here, so we have to put in the argument here. Okay, so I mean without the argument, let me just comment this out and show us guys. Let's just say greet. I've invoked the function. We are not seeing anything here because we've not logged it to the console. Okay, so we can as well do this. Can as well say console.log greet. Have something like this. Okay, see saying my name is not defined. Okay, now the reason why I say my name is not defined is because we've passed in a parameter here which we call name, and we need to pass something here, pass the name here. So we're going to put it, let's say I have a quote here, let's say Femi. Okay, so we can see that saying my name is Femi. Okay, so it's very important that when you have a value, when you have something passed in here, you have to also put in an argument here. Okay, the only exception is when you assign a value here already. So let's say I say the name is Emmanuel. Okay, so I don't have to do this. Okay, so I can just simply do this. You don't have to put a value here. Okay, so what you see now, you are seeing my name is Emmanuel because I've already assigned a value to the variable I'm passing in here. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. Okay, that we take note of this. Okay, and okay, so I'm going to just comment this out. So what I wanted to do before was to put this in a variable. So let me just do const. Wow, this is say const results equals to I want to invoke my function here. Okay, so let me give it a name. Okay, so we don't have to give it a name already, so we can just do console.log results. Okay, so I'm storing the value from this function in a variable. So I'm saying const results. Since a variable is a value is in a container, that can hold something, that can store something, equals to greet. Okay, so I have console.log.results, and you can see I'm having the same thing. I'm having Emmanuel here. Okay, so guys, I hope guys this is cool. Okay, so I'm going to show us something very briefly, and let me just comment this out. And okay, and it's possible for us to use function expression. We can have const speak like this equals to function. So I'm going to pass in two parameters now here. I'm going to pass in, let me make it time and name. Okay, so have it like this. Okay, so I'm going to do console.log. So we're going to have a backtick here. So we're going to have good day. Okay, so we're going to have good. So let's have a $, curly braces. Let's pass in time, and then let's pass in a $, again, and this again. So let's pass in the name. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so we can come down here and we can say console.log equals to, so since we have, so what's the function name now? Is speak. So we can do speak. Okay, so we are having two parameters now. So we have time, so we can actually say money, and let's call it Moji. Okay, so what do we have now? Okay, so we are having undefined down. We are having good morning Moji. Okay, so the best. Okay, oh guys, I'm so sorry about this. Made a mistake. So since we've done console.log, so we are already logging to the console. We are not seeing anything. So all we need to do is just to invoke the function. Just say speak, and that's why we are having undefined. Okay, speak, So we have speak. Let's pass in the parameters. We have morning. That's the first one. The second one is the name. So let's make it Femi. So what do we have? We have good morning, Femi. Okay, so we can have as many as we want. So this can be Nike. This can be Tolu. Okay, so this can be evening. Okay, and this can be afternoon. Okay, so what do you have there? I have good morning, Femi. Good afternoon, Nike. Good evening, Tolu. Okay, so this is function, and I'm going to just be rounding up by converting this to arrow function. Quite simple. So we are going to look at, so we said, let's say we have a function. This is our function here, my name. So very simple function that we have here, console.log. We have hello world. Okay, so when I come down here, I can actually can invoke my function or call my function. Okay, so have hello world. Okay, so how do I convert this to arrow function? So you can just say const my name equals to, you have your this, you have your parentheses, and then you can have okay, so you have your this curly braces, so you have console.log. So let's call it hello world. This is what you have. Okay, so I'm going to comment this out now so that you see what we have done. So what do we have? You can see my name, invoking the function. Okay, so can we see still having the same result? Okay, so this is shorter, this is arrow function, and in fact we can even make it more shorter. I'm going to show us guys my name. Okay, so just kind of comment it out. Okay, so we're going to comment this out. Say my name equals to this. Okay, so still doing the arrow function, curly braces, so I can say return hello people. Okay, so when I have this, so that means I can do console.log my name. Okay, so what do you have here? What am I doing? Oh, I need to invoke the function. Sorry guys. Okay, so invoke a function by adding the parentheses. Okay, so what do you have now? We have hello my people. Okay, so I can make this shorter. Okay, so let's make this shorter. I can actually bring this to this line. So all I need to do is to remove this. Okay, if I remove the return. Okay, so and then let me remove this return. Okay, we're getting undefined. Why are we having undefined? Okay, let me remove this. Let me remove this. Okay, so we're having hello my people. Okay, so these are things you can actually achieve with arrow function. Okay, so finally I'm going to pass in some parameters now. Sure guys, passing in parameters. So let me just go up to this. Okay, so I'm going to turn this to arrow function into arrow function. So what I'm going to do now is to say const speak equals to this. So now since we have two parameters, Again, we can actually put it here. Okay, and have our names here. Okay, so can make it, can just make it a short line return. Let's return this. Let's return. Okay, so let me just console.log. Console.log. So this is what we have. Good. This time. Sorry for that. So we have name. Okay, so what are we going to do next now is to so okay, so this is going to be here equals to our arrow. Very important. Okay, so I've changed this to an arrow function. You can bring this down. Okay, so you can have it like this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to call the function, and how do we do that? Is speak. So let's pass in the parameter. Let's say money night Tolu. Okay, so what do we see? We're seeing good morning Tolu. Okay, so this is a power of arrow function. Okay, so I'm going to be stopping here for this series, and guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you so much, and